Hey guys, welcome back. This pandemic has been quite a struggle for us in our marriage, but we have some principles that we live by that helped us get through this pandemic. These principles don't only apply to this time in quarantine, but also it applies to the rest of your life and the rest of your marriage.
I'd have to say that we're not relationship experts by any means. These are just things that we picked up, some little lessons that we learned along the way, and we just thought it would be nice to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that marriage is a 50-50.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That idea that marriage is a 50-50, I feel like we don't agree with that because we think that marriage should be 100-100. The husband gives 100% and the wife gives 100%.
It's not really a relationship where you're trying to get something out of it, where it's self-serving, and you're trying to get what you can from the other person. It's really a complete giving of yourself to the other person. And
giving without expecting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been so helpful to us, is just having that principle in mind and just sort of always giving 100%, because when you give 100%, you're serving the other person's needs and they're serving your needs just by giving 100 to each other.
Everything you got! Everything you got!
Just in the fact that you give 100%, both your needs are met, so you don't ever have to worry about yourself.
It's never a perfect math equation.
Right.
But if your mindset is always I'm just gonna give the best I can. I'm gonna give as much as I can to this other person. They'll never run out, they should never be depleted.
I feel like it's not even how much you're giving, it's your mindset that you're giving as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Another tip that we found useful is a principle that I like to call a one less thing principle. If you can do something right at that moment for the other person that takes one less thing away from what they have to do, then do it right then and there.
This one is really about taking initiative. You really have only a certain amount of time in your day, and you have a certain amount of tasks that you need to do. And having a partner, you're able to sort of predict what the other person needs. AJ's been always really good at thinking ahead and thinking, okay, what's going to take something off of Jill's plate?
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I'm personally working on a little bit more, but he's really has it mastered.
It could be anything,
it could
really
be anything
simple,
so
really
tiny.
small. If Jill is going out or something to go grocery shopping, I'll put all the bags at the door. If I can do it right there and take that away from what she has to do just to make her day go a little bit faster, then I'll do it right there.
Yeah. After a certain amount of time that you're married, you start to be able to predict what the other person needs and how the other person moves through their day.
Yeah.
And so it could be the tiniest thing. Sometimes it's AJ getting me a glass of water because I didn't think about it because I'm too tired at the end of the night.
It could be really small or really big, whatever.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're helping the other person and taking that one less thing away from what they have to do.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
The little time savers that we try to do for each other, that gives us an opportunity to spend more time with our kids. It gives us an opportunity to spend more time with each other. Just adding a few little minutes in the day, it's worth a lot.
Any small time make big time.
And also, speaking of our kids, I would say that our next point actually has to do with them, and it's that we don't put our kids first.
Yeah.
What?
That might seem a little strange to other people. Maybe this is the norm.
It's
for
just what works
yourself,
for us.
But
we'll explain why.
If we're able to make each other happy and to be living our lives happily, we automatically become better parents to our kids.
Yup.
When you go on an airplane, right, and they tell you if the oxygen mask falls, you put it on yourself first so that you're able to help your kids. We take that kind of idea and we apply it to our marriage, where we take care of each other first so that we are then able to take care of those that depend on us, our 3 kids.
You wouldn't want to try to put the oxygen mask on your kid being all panicked yourself, and not able to breathe and you're drowning. This is kind of applicable to how we try to conduct ourselves in our marriage. If we see someone's stressing out, we make sure that person gets a big hug before we move forward and take care of our kids and have the rest of our day, because they take up so much of our time, so much of our energy, that we have to almost on purpose make sure that we're taking care of each other.
Yeah, because if we're not okay, then our parenting sucks.
Yeah, no, it's true actually. The moments that I'm stressed out is when I can say that I'm not patient.
More irritable.
I'm very irritable when I'm when I'm like really stressed out.
I wasn't talking about you. Like
no,
me
but
too.
it's actually true though. Yeah, but that resonated with me.
So this next tip is actually a good follow-up from the last one. This tip is to give each other time to recharge. We all have a certain amount of patience and a certain amount of energy throughout the day, and a lot of our tasks and parenting and everything depletes that a little bit.
We both recharge in different ways as well. Like me, I might need a nap for an hour. For him, I don't know, like do something that's just for him. Ultimately, like we try to not only give each other that time, but we try not to be afraid to ask for it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, is to ask for the time to recharge if you feel like you really need it, and not feel guilty about that. It's easy for us to fall into this like, oh no, I'm being selfish because I need time for myself. If I get that moment, even if it's just a few moments, like I come back better than ever. That's something that I feel like we both try to do, and we both try to give each other.
It's actually important that we also notice when the other person is being overwhelmed.
That's what I find really helpful. Sometimes like I'm not too afraid to ask for it, but I don't know I need it. Time to recharge is pretty key. You know, whatever it is that you do, whether it be like pray or meditate or, you know, just kind of be still, those moments are really important in the day. Okay, so last point. When it comes to me and AJ's marriage, we often do things for the other person, and we try to do it in a way that we're showing grace. We're not irritable at our sacrifice, and we're not showing the other person like what a big inconvenience it is.
Right. If the other person needs time to get away and recharge for a bit, we try to not show that we're being inconvenienced.
If you are doing something out of love, really do it without making them feel guilt. I know for myself, even the smallest hint of like a sigh or like anything like that, I'm like, okay, never mind, I'll do it. Like that's just sort of like in my nature.
She's much better at this than I am. Like I'm so bad at this. Sometimes I can get a little passive aggressive.
It's just, we're just being real.
Yeah, just pulling back the curtain.
Yeah.
And you know, giving you a sneak peek under the circus tent.
That is our
marriage. Where is this metaphor going?
So okay, admittedly, yes, he wears his heart on his sleeve. So like if he's emotional,
I can't hide what I feel.
It's very difficult, I guess. I guess I'm just better at it, but like, I mean, it's really a general principle. If you are gonna do something nice for someone, you sort of just want to do it without the other person feeling bad that you're doing it, you know?
Just being charitable, right?
Yeah, it's really just being charitable. So these are the 5 things that are habits that we picked up in our marriage that we just felt helped us so much within the quarantine.
Yeah, mind you, we didn't do any of these perfectly, you know, we are human, but these are things that, you know, we try to live by, these principles.
Yeah, we're always subject to our emotions, like we're emotional people, but these are things that like you can try or like attempt to do on purpose. That's like an interesting concept of just sort of like purposefully living in your relationship and being in your marriage and being fully present to the other person, so that you're accountable to your actions and to how you treat them and how you better each other.
It just extends from loving each other, right? And you know, loving each other means that you want the good for the other person, right?
So we really enjoy being able to share certain parts of our marriage, and just hopefully it can help someone out there if they're struggling with something similar to what we've struggled with in our 5 years of marriage. If there are tips or tricks that you've picked up in your relationship that work really well, we'd love to hear about it in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. Yeah. And also let us know, you know, if you agree or disagree with anything that we've said. We just like to hear other people's perspectives. Marriage is not easy.
Yeah, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. So these are just things that we've lived by that have worked for us.
I'm telling you, love is a mysterious fig. It is.
So if you did like today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't.
And also hit that bell icon to be notified when our next video drops.
Okay guys, that's it for today. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.